Sam, I want to take the opportunity to thank you for coming in. I know you've been through the 7-step sales process that we offer our TAG members, and giving us an opportunity here to be able to explain the program to you in a little bit more detail and not quite as rushed, and maybe spend a little bit more time so you get the essence of how do we get past the gatekeeper. And I'm going to set the stage a little bit. There's a couple criteria that we have to establish here first. And the first thing that we're going to try to establish here is we're going to be dialing for dollars. I want everyone to realize that this is one of the 9 ways of generating appointments. However, we all recognize it's not the best way. We're going to get a lot of appointments, but not really high-quality appointments. But for those of you who are new to the business, and for those of you who don't have your bird dog set up and don't have your elite group set up, this is where you start. So very, very important to everybody. So a couple criteria is we're going to be dialing into companies, and the basic concept that we look at. When you dial into a company, there's only 3 questions that someone can ask you. And those questions are, who are you? Where are you from? And what's this regarding? So if we know that, let's take this into consideration. People will not make decisions if they're confused or don't understand what you're saying. So when you're on the phone, I want to teach a technique. And the technique is the same technique that every newscaster in the country utilizes. Newscasters get more information out faster, quicker, with more comprehension than any other individual that's trying to communicate information. If you'll watch their lip movement, they overemphasize their lip movements. And when you go home tonight, please take a look at the newscaster, and you'll see that their lips are being overemphasized. Now, when you're speaking on the phone and you can feel each and every lip movement, you're doing it correctly. Because what happens, it forces you to slow down. It forces that person to be able to hear what you're saying so they can make a decision. And you're delivering the information at a speed that they can comprehend. So we go in and we make the phone call, and a couple things that we want to accomplish. One is, if we know there's only 3 questions, we're going to give 2 of those questions the answers to them immediately. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, ABC Company. Hi, Jim Hahn from INET. Trying to get hold of Sam. Is he available? Or, hi, Jim Hahn from INET. I need to get hold of Sam. Is he available? Now, we did a couple things here. First thing we did is we answered 2 questions of the 3. Jim Hahn, that's who I am. I'm from INET, and I need to get hold of Sam. Now, did you notice, Sam, that with the inflection of the voice, a sense of urgency? Did you notice that?
You weren't coming in as a supplicant.
Yeah. And did you also notice, not only did I have the urgency, but I had a sense of familiarity. And this is something that every phone call that you make from this point on, all right, if you make the phone call in this process, high probability they're going to put you into their voicemail or transfer you over to the call, because the receptionists can't respond quick enough. They can't say, who is this? You've already told them. You can't say, where are you from? And the mind works, familiarity, sense of urgency. And high probability they're going to put you in because you're going to get the voicemail anyway. All right, so you sit down, and let's say that you get passed over to voicemail. Do we leave a message?
No.
No, never leave a message. I get a message from a salesperson in my voicemail box. Delete, 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 delete. And you have to understand, I am as proactive with salespeople as any human being can be. And the reason I am is that 20 years ago I saw a cartoon. And that cartoon was a person up on a fort with a bow and arrow, hundreds of people attacking the fort, someone pulling on the pant leg, and the caption was, hey, I'm too busy for you. And the person that's pulling the pant leg was selling Gatling guns. All right? Salespeople sell Gatling guns. Any salesperson out there, is there any product that you're selling that if you sold it to a company, you would do harm to that company? No. You need to get in, you need to talk to the decision makers, because we have the Gatling guns. Do not leave a voicemail. All right? What do? We hit the 0 button, we go back to the operator. And when we go back to the operator, what happens? Thank you for putting me through, but I got Sam's voicemail again. I do need to talk to him. Can you please page him? Now, the operator is going to go page him, page the owner of the company. Because the other thing is, who are we calling? We're calling the CFO or the owner of the organization. So we now put some stress on the gatekeeper to make a decision. We're asking her or him to page the owner of the company. Well, she's had enough time to reflect and said, wow, I better do something, I better get some information. Now, prior to going out and making these phone calls, what I did in my company, I said, I gathered my sales force, and I said, hey, Dale Stein, I'm the CEO of the company. Everyone recognize that? Everyone said yes. I'm asking you to do something for me, and I want to know who will do this for me. I want you to go into the marketplace, and I want you to ask as many business owners, presidents, CEOs, and CFOs, I want you to ask them if there's some changes that are occurring within their organization. Is there anybody in the room or anybody out there right now that isn't willing to do and make those phone calls? Well, all my salespeople said, yeah, I'll make the call and ask if someone's making some changes. What happens now, the CEO, Dale Stein's asked them to do this. So this Jim Hahn, all right, has a purpose. Now, the only thing that the gatekeeper can ask at this point is what? What's this regarding? Right? She knows my name. She knows where I'm from. She sensed that sense of urgency. She sensed that familiarity. All right? So the only thing that she can ask is, what's this regarding? Dale Stein's asked me to give him a call. If this is not a convenient time, that's okay. Give me to somebody that has his calendar, because I do need to get hold of him. Now, Dale Stein. What's the only other question that she can ask? Who's Dale Stein?
Right.
That's the only other question. So I got familiarity, and Sam, did you notice that my tone of voice changed ever so slightly, of being a little bit disturbed that how dare you ask me, but that's okay, I'll give you that information.
I think you almost have to come across as a peer to the CEO. So you can't be too snooty, and you can't be too underling. You got to be peer to peer.
And that's exactly correct. All right. The only other question that she can possibly ask at this point in time is, who's Dale Stein? Well, Dale Stein's the CEO of my company, and he's asked me to give Sam a call. I do need to talk to him, and it's rather urgent. And it's okay if he's not there. Let me know when he's going to be there, or at least let me talk to a personal secretary who keeps the schedule, because I do need to get hold of him. Can you do that for me?
And they're going to say yes.
Yeah, where else are they going to go with that? What happens is, on a recap, all right, they will end up paging. Now, I just recently made some phone calls, all right, with a company, and we had the president of Level 3 come on the phone. We had the president of Callaway Golf get on the phone. We had the president of Qualcomm get on the phone, all right? And it's a matter of understanding the technique and understanding this process. Now, a couple other things that are happening here in the dynamics. Just as a recap, Sam, we give them 2 answers to the only 3 questions they can have. We have them put us through. We hit the 0 button. We come back to the receptionist, all right, and we say, hey, thank you so much, but I got his voicemail again, and I do need to talk to him. Can you overhead page him? Well, at that point, you're going to get some resistance, and the only resistance they can have is, what's this regarding? Dale Stein's asked me to give him a call. If this is not a convenient time, that's okay. Connect me with somebody who has his calendar, because I do have to get hold of him. High probability you get pushed through. If it pushes a little bit further, it's, who's Dale Stein? Well, who's Dale Stein? Peer-to-peer, as you were talking about, and that's how you create it. Dale Stein's the CEO of my company, and I do need to get hold of Sam. If he's not here, that's okay. All right? Let me know how to get hold of him. Or, if he's not there, can I have his cell phone number? I do need to get hold of him.
So you're giving them an out right there, and 90% of the time they're going to give you the out.
Yeah. Now, what happens is that what's going to happen to you, you are going to get owners of companies paged. Now, why do we start with the owner of a company? All right, let's take a look and analyze that a little bit. How many of you as salespeople have gone in, done your presentation, all right, went through the fact gatherer, and all of a sudden you give your proposal, and the fact gatherer says, oh, this looks really good, I'll pass it on to the owner of the company. What we're looking for is that the owner of the company needs to be into the loop. We talk about our front-end package, all right? We talk about our project overview. We talk about keeping that person in the loop. High probability, Sam, what's going to occur is that when you do get to the owner, he's going to put you in contact with somebody in his organization who handles this transaction. But you know what he just did? He gave you the permission to keep him CC'd and in the loop on everything you're doing with the fact gather. That's why we start at the top of an organization and have it go down, because if you start at the bottom of the organization and try to push it uphill, very, very difficult.
Not only that, but if God sends you down to demigod, you're going to get a different reception than if you just knocked on the door.
Right. So I've gone through this thing now, and I'm sitting here with a situation where they're paging the owner of the company. Sam, you get on the phone. So what does a salesperson do other than because you're not accustomed to getting the person you ever want to talk to anyway, and you don't know how to talk to it. So, does this take practice? Absolutely. And the reason that we're doing this in this format is so that you can sit down, revisit it, and really have this lock in, because it is the most powerful tool you'll ever have of getting to the people you want to talk to. Sam gets on the phone, and we simply say, Sam, this is Jim Hahn from INET. Dale Stein, the CEO of my company, has asked me to give you a call, and he's talking about some changes that are occurring in your organization. Are you in the process of moving right now? No. Now, what's going on in the CEO's mind? CEO's thinking, Dale Stein, where did I meet him? I'm a 20. I'm involved in a lot of things. I meet a lot of people. I don't want to offend Dale Stein. I can't place him right now.
Was he at Rotary or whatever?
Yeah, was he at Rotary? Was he on the board at the Opera? Was he, 20s are productive people. They're involved in a lot of things. And at the same time, he's talking about changes, and he goes, well, no, I'm not doing any changes. Or are you doing some internal changes, Sam? Are you doing like a branch location? Are you doing some additions to your company as far as expanding? Well, no, not right now. Now, the next thing we hit was, Sam, let me ask you a question. Are you doing anything with your telecommunications, your phone system, voicemail, or you doing anything with the internet? Now, there isn't a company on the face of the earth that isn't doing something with the internet. Oh, and by the way, 10% of the people that you're calling, 10% of your marketplace at this point in time is changing their technology. So just dialing for dollars, you may get, and you will get, yeah, we're doing something with our phone system. Yes, we're doing something with our voicemail. Yes, we're doing something with our internet. A lot of times, they're doing something with the internet. Now, at this point in time, the CEO is trying to recall, and he says, well, yeah, we're doing something that, but, I don't handle that. Well, Sam, let me ask you a question. Who handles that? Well, that's done by Troy. Sam, would you mind transferring me to Troy? Right? He transfers you to Troy. Troy is the IT director. He's the fact gatherer. He's the individual.
Could be the CFO in some company.
Could be the CFO, but he's going to be the person, all right, that you're going to make a presentation to. But guess what? From this point forward, you're able to keep the owner, the CFO, or whoever you called into first, into the loop, so you're not going to get blindsided on that sales transaction. Now, you get Troy's voicemail. Do you leave a message? Yeah. And here's why you leave a message. Troy, Sam, the owner of your company, the guy who signs your paycheck, asked me to give you a call. Now, we don't say it that way, but that's what we're really saying, is that Troy, Sam, asked me to give you a call to talk about your communications.
And at that point, you're going to be at the head of the phone return list.
Absolutely.
You will be an A return call, not a C.
Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, this makes a priority, and it doesn't make your time more effective?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now, we all have electronic calendaring. We all make our notes and so forth. We're making that assumption. Now, what happens is I do talk to Troy. I say, Troy, Sam's asked me to talk to you. Understand you're doing something with your telecommunications, or I understand you're doing something with your internet. And as a tag member, the services from telco, from voicemail, from DSL, from internet, from strategic alliances, we have the ability to be able to deliver some form of services. We just need to be able to get in front of somebody and talk to them about our services. Sam's asked me to give you a call. Says that you're handling this. Like to get together with you and show you the global approach that INET takes in your telecommunications. Would Thursday at 10:30 or would Friday at 1:30 be more convenient? What are we doing? We're asking for the order, and the sale that we're trying to get here right now is what? The appointment.
It's very simple.
All right? Real simple. All right? Get the appointment. It's come down from the top. High probability you're going to get the appointment. Okay, so now we have the appointment. And Sam, can you see the value of this type of a procedure? Can you see that it takes the drudgery out of making cold phone calls? And can you see the value of it? And do you think this is going to allow you to be a better salesperson and allow you to make more income as a result of it?
Well, yeah, let's be real, Dale. Phone calling, or dialing for dollars, as you call it, is the last thing most salespeople want to do, me included. And from my perspective, the technique you've just taught will make it fun for me. It's like finding having a basketball coach give you a way to do a new dribble and a workaround on a shot, and that is what we're all looking for, because getting to the decision maker is the tough thing, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to do it this way.
Great. Sam, as I said before, I want to really thank and appreciate you taking the time to understand and learn your craft. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.